All right, let's talk about something in QuickBooks Online that trips so many business owners up. You're in the Sales Tax Center, you see that little File Return button, and you think, great, one click and I'm done, right? Well, not so fast. That single button is probably one of the most misunderstood features. So today we're going to clear up exactly what it does, and more importantly, what it doesn't do.
So this is the big question, isn't it? The one that maybe keeps you up at night a little bit. You've done all the work tracking your sales, you see that button, and you wonder, is this some kind of magic? Does clicking File just magically send all my information over to the government and take care of the whole shebang for me?
And the answer, let me be perfectly clear, is a big, fat no. Seriously, if you take away only one thing from this explainer, let it be this. Clicking that button in QuickBooks does not file your taxes with the government. Think of QuickBooks as your super organized assistant. It's getting all the paperwork together, putting it in a neat folder, and handing it to you. It does all the prep, but you're the one who has to actually take it and file it.
Really, the best way to look at this is as a partnership. It's you and the software working together. Think of QuickBooks Online as your expert co-pilot. It's fantastic at navigating, checking all the instruments, and making sure the data is spot on. But you are always the pilot. You're the one in the captain's chair who makes the final call and actually lands the plane.
Here's another way to see it. QuickBooks is your amazing assistant. It's a workhorse for all that tedious stuff, calculating every single cent of tax, pulling together all the numbers, and filling in the boxes on the tax form. But you are the executive. You're the one who gives it that final critical review. You're the one who has to log into the tax agency's website and physically submit the return. And of course, you're the one who actually makes the payment from your bank account.
Okay, so before you even get close to filing anything, you need to do a quick quality check. I like to call this the professional pre-flight check. It only takes a couple of minutes, but trust me, it will absolutely save you from some massive headaches later on.
There are just 2 steps here, and you can't skip them. First, pull up the detail report. This is where you can eyeball the individual transactions and make sure nothing looks weird or out of place. Second, and this is the real sanity check, you have to make sure the total from your sales tax return matches the sales tax liability account on your balance sheet. If those 2 numbers don't agree, stop everything. That's a huge red flag that something's off in your books.
So, let's say you're in the Sales Tax Center, and QuickBooks calculates your total tax due. It comes out to, for example, $1,452.37. Okay, that's number 1.
Now for the moment of truth. You pop over to your balance sheet for that same period, you scroll down to your sales tax liability account, and you see the exact same number. Phew! When you see this, you can breathe that sigh of relief and know you're good to go. If they don't match, you gotta put on your detective hat before you do anything else.
Okay, your numbers are solid, they match, you're ready to go. So let's walk through what you actually do inside the software. Now remember, every step we're about to take is just about creating a clean record for your own bookkeeping. It has nothing to do with actually talking to the tax agency.
First, you'll go to the Sales Tax Center and hit Prepare Return. Simple enough. Then, and here's a tip I always follow, print it or save it as a PDF. This is the document you'll need when you go to the government's website. So after you've used that info to do the real filing over there, you come back to QBO and click Mark as Filed. And finally, you just follow the steps to record the payment details, like what day you paid and which bank account it came from.
And I'm going to say this one more time because it is just that important. Marking that return as filed inside QuickBooks is 100% for your own records. It's just you telling your books, okay, this task is done. It does not, will not, cannot send anything to the tax agency. That part is still on you. But what if you do all that? You click the button, and then you get that sinking feeling in your stomach, that oh, oops moment where you realize you made a mistake. Hey, it happens to every single one of us. The really great news is that QuickBooks knows this, and it makes fixing the most common errors surprisingly painless. So please, don't panic.
You know, they say to err is human, right? Well, in this case, the ability to undo feels pretty darn divine. It's a huge relief knowing that if you mess up, you're not stuck. That little undo button is a total game changer for your peace of mind.
So let's look at the 2 most common slip-ups. First, what if you filed with the wrong numbers in QBO? Easy. Just go back to the Sales Tax Center, find that return in your filed history, and you'll see an option to undo filing. But what if the numbers were right and you just messed up recording the payment, like you chose the wrong bank account? For that, you'll go to the Payments tab instead, find that specific payment, and just hit Delete.
So what actually happens when you hit undo filing? It's not as dramatic as it sounds. QuickBooks just quietly picks up that return from the done pile and puts it right back into your to-do list of taxes that are due. It gives you a clean slate so you can fix whatever was wrong and then go through the process again correctly.
So when you boil it all down, what's the big picture here? The main lesson is simple, and honestly, it's pretty empowering. You are the one in control of this whole process. The software is just there to help.
So let's just recap the 4 absolute must-knows. Number 1, QuickBooks is your tool, not your tax agent. It prepares, you file. Number 2, always, always, always verify your numbers with that 2-step check before you do anything. 3, the real action, the filing, and the paying happens over on the tax agency's website. And finally, number 4, if you make a mistake inside QBO, don't sweat it. It's almost always easily reversible.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Now that you really understand this difference between preparing and filing, and now that you know you're in the driver's seat and can even fix mistakes, what's one financial task in your business that you feel like you can tackle with just a little bit more confidence?